I'd like to call to order the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners meeting for August the 10th. Would everyone please stand while Ms. Willan says a prayer and we do the pledge.
Let's pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. I do just pray over these commissioners that they would just use wisdom, and God, that we would all present these items with clarity. I also just pray for our community, Lord, as the medical field continues to struggle with this virus, that you would just watch over them, give them wisdom and the ability to respond to everyone's needs. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, before we get started, I'd just like to let everyone know that Commissioner Pate and Commissioner McKinney is going to be joining us via Zoom. All right, is McKinney on?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. Ms. Daniels.
Yes, sir. We have one addition to the agenda, and that will be under section 2. And this is regarding the broadband network rankings.
For a motion that the agenda as noted to be amended by Ms. Daniels be accepted.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Donifro, second by Commissioner Hill to approve the agenda. Any questions? All right, Commissioner Pate and Commissioner McKinney, please indicate your approval by yes, your disapproval by no. All those in favor here, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. All right, consent agenda items. Everyone has had an opportunity to review the agenda. Are there any questions?
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
I move to approve.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Pate to approve the consent agenda items. Is there a second?
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Hill. Same procedure we're going to follow all morning. So McKinney and Pate, just yes or no. Okay. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carries 5-0. Mr. Jeff Johnson.
Good
Good morning, Jeff.
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill,
Second.
second by Commissioner Donifro. Any questions?
Is this the UHF, this the fire side or the SO side?
UHF Sheriff's Office.
Has the repairs been made?
They're in the process.
When do you
Sneed's
think
is
it'll,
having to file a claim on their repair. Well, Sneed's Police Department, theirs took a hit.
when do you think it'll be back online?
Probably within the next couple of weeks.
Okay, any more questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. All right, Ms. Deborah Hines. Ms. Willan?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, what I'm asking permission for is to spend a lot of money. It's not going to cost the county commissioners anything, okay, because this is money that is that we have rolled over from our state aid funds every year. And with this surplus, what I decided to do was really give a big upgrade to the library, and we're going to install, with your permission, we're going to install a self-check system so that it will help people during the COVID epidemic or pandemic that we have, in that they will not have to interact with people as much as they would, but they still can interact. We still will have staff that can help them do whatever they want to do. We're also going to, and this is RFID, and the technology is great because we have, you can set a stack of books down on the little pad, and it automatically reads what's in there and will automatically do everything. So it's a really great, piece of technology and really modernizes our library. We also, part of this money also is used for a document delivery system that is really quite nice as well. And it allows people to come in and they can fax or make photocopies or scan documents, and the destination can be anywhere. It can be, they can scan things and have it go to a computer, or they can have it go to a thumb drive, or they can have it go to their email. So that's another big step up. So yeah, that's what the
Okay,
money's
very
for.
good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We have a motion by Commissioner Hill, a second by Commissioner Donifro. I do have one question. You're
Mhm.
buying this, who maintains it?
The company maintains it. It's not going to have any, and it's cloud-based. So Joey's been involved. Joey's been
So
involved
it's
in every
not going to
step of
cost
it.
us anything to maintain it.
Correct.
There's no annual maintenance costs or software.
Yes, sir, but
direct cost.
there is an annual maintenance cost, but I'm using other funds to pay for it. It's not
Okay.
included in my budget.
All right, any more questions? Hearing none. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Thank you,
All right.
commissioners.
Chief Bruner,
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chairman.
morning, sir.
This is, first item is a request for board approval and authorization for the chairman to sign the clinical affiliation agreement between the Jackson County Board of County Commissioners, specifically Fire Rescue and Tallahassee Community College. This agreement is no cost to the county, has been approved by legal, and will allow students, EMT and paramedic students from Tallahassee Community College to complete clinical hours with our service.
So moved,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
I have a motion by Commissioner Hill.
Second.
McKinney, second by Commissioner McKinney. Any questions? Hearing none. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
McKinney? Okay,
Yes.
so motion carries 5-0.
All right.
Mr. Rhett?
Oh, you skipped one.
Number 5.
Oh, I'm sorry, I skipped over it. All right, go ahead, Charlie.
Yes, sir. The second is board approval to purchase 2 stretchers off Savick contract pricing and 2 Hearst tools off the Lake County contract pricing as part of the state of Florida DOT financial assistance grant for the 2 ambulances that are being built under the appropriation.
Have a motion by Commissioner Hill,
Second.
second by Commissioner Donifro. Commissioner Hill has a question.
Charlie, these are Jaws Alliance to replace the ones on the 2 fire trucks, correct?
No, sir. This is to finish out that grant. We had a small variance and the DOT wanted us to complete, it was a $500,000 total grant. They wanted us to use that total amount for something that would be beneficial to the ambulance. So that's why we included the tools, the stretchers, and then we're going to buy radios as well. So we don't have to come out of any type of money for the radios.
Okay. We got a motion by Commissioner Hill, second by Commissioner Donifro. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Motion
Yes.
carries
Yes.
5-0. All right, thank you, Charlie. Rhett, now it's your
Thank you, Mr.
turn.
Chairman.
Our request for you today is a board approval of change order number 2 for Southern Boulevard.
Hang on a minute. Hey, somebody needs to mute their computer. Clint,
It ain't me.
it ain't you. McKinney,
Go ahead, Kevin.
you need to mute it. Thank you. Or somebody's on that's not
I
muted.
think they keep everybody else muted, but Joey, if you could just make sure that everybody is muted that needs to be.
I'm sorry,
ma'am.
Rick. Go ahead.
So board approval of change order number 2 for Southern Boulevard. This is Baxter's asphalt project and the DOT approved. They've already been submitted a change order. So we're extending it for 40 days to cover it through the next morning board meeting, just in case we have any more delays.
All right, we got a motion by Commissioner Hill,
Second.
second by Commissioner Donifro. Any questions?
40 days,
Yes, sir.
40 days, and this is weather related, scope related?
So they actually had tremendous groundwater issues at one of the low water drainage areas that they just
Couldn't get compaction.
right. So by the time they did that, and then the pipes were delayed, the concrete culverts that were put in. So just a myriad of issues.
Any more questions? All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand. Clint?
Yes.
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 Okay, motion carries 5-0. Mr. David?
See in your packets, we opened bids on the autism renovation facility, and we got 4 bids, and they were all fairly close. In the bids, we were doing a building 100 and a building 200. The bids were fairly close, but they were fairly high, 1.3 million, and we've allocated $900,000 for the renovation, 600,000 out of the job growth grant and 300,000 out of the new market tax credits on it. So our recommendation is that we just do the building 200, and the low bidder was M&W Construction, and recommend an award of $896,000 for that.
Got a motion by Commissioner Hill,
Second.
second by Commissioner Pate. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
I need to recuse myself as a conflict of interest.
Okay, the motion carries 4-1 with Commissioner Donifro
4-0. 4-0.
recusing
I
himself.
need to
Yeah.
recuse myself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Melvin. All right, item number 8, Hunter, are you presenting it?
Yes, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, so this is the board discussion recommendation to award RFP number 2021-22 Jackson County Broadband Network to the highest ranked proposal. So that was the P3 group out of those 5 proposals ranked by you all. So just asking for you to award that contract to them, and we will begin negotiations and bring that back to you hopefully at the next agenda meeting.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Is there a second?
Second. Second.
Okay, we have a second by Commissioner McKinney to approve the award of the broadband project for Jackson County to the P3 group. Any questions? All right, hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
All right,
Yes.
okay, the motion carries 5-0. Now, this P3 group is actually affiliated with Nokia, and Nokia will be working on this project also. So Nokia will be, the group out of Memphis will be doing the financing, Nokia doing the technical stuff.
In the event, Mr. Chairman, that negotiations with the P3 group are not successful, will we then move to the second ranked firm? And if that's the case, who was that? Do we know?
It's right here, Dave,
Is it?
Paul. Look at the sheet they gave you.
Smart City. And I don't know how that would work because
Probably have to rebid it.
I would think.
Hunter, is that addressed in the RFQ?
Yeah, so the way the bid documents work, it's outlined if the board selects the highest ranking proposal and they're unsuccessful to reach a favorable contract, then the bid will move to the second highest proposal, which would be Smart City.
Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Very good. Thank you. All right. We move to well, we don't have anything on the public hearing. Community development. Miss Wendy.
Good morning, Commissioners.
Morning.
The first item we have is the introduction of our Code Enforcement Officer. Ms. Jessica Neighbors joined the department on June 23rd, 2021. And she's with us this morning to give you a little background on herself and touch base.
Ms. Neighbors, go ahead.
Okay, there we go. Good morning, everyone. Like Ms. Wendy said, I'm Jessica Neighbors, and I've been in Jackson County about 20 years. I worked at ACI for a while, and I've spent the last 4.5 years as a lieutenant for the Civil Security Department at the Florida State Hospital. I'm also an active shooter training through Alice Institute. I'm an instructor for that, so that's also something I can offer to the county. I can actually give those classes. And I'm looking forward to my role here in the Community Development Department.
Well, welcome aboard. You have plenty of work to do. So, you will be getting referrals, I'm sure, from time to time from the commissioners, because we get calls constantly on
Yes, sir.
Issues that are within your purview. But thank you and welcome aboard. We look forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, Ms. Wendy.
Yes, sir. The next item is to request to set a public hearing to extend a development agreement for waste management. On November
Okay,
7th,
we have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Second by Commissioner Donifro. Are there any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, motion carries 5-0 to set a public hearing on this issue.
yes, sir. That'll be for August 24th, 2021 at 6:15 p.m.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Ms. Wendy. The
Okay.
next, Wendy, the next one is yours also.
Yes, sir. We're requesting to set a public hearing for August 24th, 2021 at 6:15 p.m. for the Jackson County Road and Bridge Office Facility.
Got a motion by Commissioner Hill.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Donifro. Any questions? Hearing none, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
motion carries 5-0 to set a public hearing. Ms. Wendy, next one's yours also.
Yes, sir. The next one is board review of the road abandonment ordinance and requesting to set a public hearing for September 14th, 2021 at 9:15 a.m.
Got a motion by Commissioner Hill,
Second.
second by Commissioner Pate. Any questions? All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. Ms. Wendy, the next one's yours also.
Yes, sir. So we have board review and to set a public hearing of the film and motion photography ordinance. The request for the public hearing is for September 14th, 2021 at 9:15 a.m. And in this packet that you have today are the comments from Commissioner Peacock, and wanted to see if you all wanted to talk about that before we go to the public hearing.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Hill. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Donifro. And again, I will ask, does this pertain to everyone who's filming in Jackson County other than news media types?
No, sir. We amended that to include those folks who would be doing professional type photography and independent commercial for-profit persons or a film production company in the business of motion photography or production.
Wendy, I was looking on page 80 in my book, page 3 in this this proposal here, under E exception, number 1, individuals filming, taking photos or video recording while using a handheld camera. You're striking handheld, right?
Well, if you would like me to, we have that also in the definitions. It is explains what a handheld device is. If you all want that stricken, we can strike it.
Well, it's
But-
highlighted in yellow. Is that just because I questioned it?
Yes, sir. The yellow
Well, I
highlight,
didn't accomplish anything, did I?
pardon?
It's basically saying somebody with a handheld camera is not required to get a permit.
All of these 2 cameras here are handheld. A lot of this stuff today is handheld.
Right, but the 2 right now.
They're on a tripod right
Yeah,
now.
I don't think they want to hold that. Yeah, Wendy, I just got a real quick question. I'm still confused on why we're charging for this service unless it impacts the county as far as we shut down a service, a park, or somebody. Why would we charge for something that, you know, really don't impact the county? That's the only thing part of what I'm confused about, but
So
this,
we revised this, Commissioner, to be on county property and properties that impact the county, such as right-of-way.
okay, so the charge is only based if they impact the county services or the right of way of the county, right?
Yes, sir. We amended that from the last meeting because that was a concern of the board.
Any more questions? All those in favor of setting a public hearing on this, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
I just need to make a clarification on your number under community development under number 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to actually need those to be for September 14th at 6:15 p.m. because that's a night meeting, if you recall, for budget purposes. And I'm sorry I didn't catch that in the agenda. I should have corrected
What was
that.
the date, September?
okay, so
Yeah, all of these.
does that change your motion?
Yeah, so we don't have a night meeting that day?
Mhm.
Okay.
And that's for budget reasons because you'll have your 5:30 meeting.
Okay, yeah, I'll change it.
So it'll,
That's fine.
so 4, 5, 6, and 7 will all be for September 14th at 6:15 p.m. I just needed to clarify that.
Okay. Everyone,
You amend yours?
you want to?
Yes, I'll amend mine as well.
Okay. All right. All those in favor, say, raise your right hand. Clint, Alex, y'all catch that?
Yes.
I meant yes. I meant yes. I said aye. Yes.
Okay, very good. All right, Ms. Wendy, the next one is yours.
Yes, sir. So requesting board review of the floodplain ordinance amendment and requesting to set a public hearing for September 14th at 6:15 p.m.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Hill,
Second.
McKinney.
second by Commissioner Pate. Are there any questions? I have a couple. Imagine that.
Where's your post? Well, there it is. I see it.
Ms. Wendy,
Yes, sir.
so you are designated as the floodplain administrator?
Yes, sir.
As the floodplain administrator, it looks to me like they are saying that even buildings that are exempt from the Florida Building Code are not exempt from this ordinance?
Correct. Anyone in the floodplain has to follow the floodplain ordinance and statutes. This ordinance was actually reviewed by the Deputy State Floodplain Manager. to be in alignment with the community rating system and FEMA policies.
How are we policing like pole barns?
Well, if we find that someone has done something that goes against what the floodplain ordinance says and they're in that area, then we would put in either a code enforcement complaint, or they would have to put in their development order and go through building for their permits and inspections.
But if I'm going to build a pole barn, I am not required to get a permit, correct?
If you are agriculturally if it's ag, you're exempt, but if you're not in ag, you're not exempt.
Okay, so on my farm, I'm going to build a pole barn. You're not going to know about it, are you?
They're supposed to contact us, but there are no fees.
Are you sure they're supposed to contact us?
They're supposed to.
I'm just thinking, how many of them actually contact you?
Well, Wendy, I've got a question, just real quick. What's the purpose of regulating agricultural building in the floodplains? Is it simple? Is it liability on the county, or what would hurt if they build a pole barn, where it's wet? I mean, I know of people that have, and some of us due to our government ditches, that have barns there close to where it floods at. And I don't know if that's, I guess do we have a map that shows our federal flood zones that we need to adhere to, or areas?
Yes, sir. So there are.
So we don't present that to them and say, okay, you can't build here, and if they come, that's the requirements.
If they're in a floodplain, they have to meet the floodplain guidelines if they put in a permit.
Right.
So yes, sir. If they are in a floodplain, they should meet the floodplain guidelines.
I'm just confused. What damage, what harm would be done through the floodplain just to park tractors or farm equipment underneath it? If they need to move it or whatever, obviously if it's mobile, what's the harm?
Well, this is based on insurance ratings and FEMA guidelines. So if FEMA should come in, they have to set this criteria so that people's insurance can fall within the guidelines of the floodplain area.
I know for a fact FEMA will not pay on barns where you park tractors. We went through that with Michael. They said, oh yeah, go to the SBA. If it's anything to do with agriculture, SBA will turn you down, especially if you park a tractor under it. So I'm just wondering, and I'm not criticizing you or anything. I'm just wondering why we're trying to regulate these pole barns for agriculture. Michelle?
Basically, if they're told to. If you want to keep your citizens' flood insurance rates low, that's what this does. You comply with this, they get a better rating. You don't comply, they don't get a better rating. I mean, that's what this does.
I'm aware of that.
But I don't really think that they're trying to regulate ag as much as they're saying you're not exempt from it. So a pole barn, for instance, where water can freely flow, they're not going to care about. But if I put a wall up on one side of my pole barn, they care about that, because then it could keep water from flowing theoretically. So it's really not about ag as much as it is they want to know that if you are going to build that pole barn, that the water can freely flow, or it's a breakaway wall, and then you build it to where it breaks away if the water does back up. They're not really trying to get into ag.
Well, I'm just wondering how they're going to know. It's the big thing.
Yeah, so technically, if you are building in a floodplain, you are supposed to go through a process, whether you're ag or not. Now, does everyone know they're in a floodplain?
No.
Not necessarily.
Okay. All right. All those in favor of setting the hearing, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0 to set a public hearing. Okay. Ms. Wendy, the last one is yours.
Yes, sir. Requesting your review of the recreational vehicle ordinance and also to set a public hearing for 6:15 PM.
Got a motion by Commissioner Hill. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Pate. Any questions? Michelle, you and Commissioner Hill discussed this revised ordinance, correct? Okay. All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Donifro is a no vote, so it carries.
Not just the public hearing for that.
This-
All right.
And
4-1.
Commissioners, I do need to bring up a point before we go to the public hearing. So at this
Yes, ma'am.
point, we had someone come in that is from out of state, and they bought a 15-acre parcel. They said they want to move 4 or 5 family members in RVs on their parcel. As written right now, the RV ordinance doesn't address that. So in speaking with planning, we wanted to see if you would agree to the following statement being added. If you, it's on page 3 of the ordinance, section 2. I'm sorry. Yeah, 2, section 74-632, habitation or occupancy. So right now, it does not limit the amount that can go on a property as written. It says the habitation or occupancy of a recreational vehicle is permissible on residential real property. We would like to recommend adding allowing the density of the future land use designation up to a maximum of 4 residences per property. Additional residences require a general development order for an RV park. Otherwise, we would have people coming in. He has 15 acres, so there's no limit on that. So we'd like for your recommendations on that.
So Wendy, I would just say that it's automatically an RV park with the 5th one. So, I mean, I understand that it would be nice to put that in there, but whether they put that in there or not, they would be required to follow the RV park guidelines.
Okay.
So if I have 100 acres or 200 acres or 1,000 acres, I still can only put 4 on that?
Without becoming an RV park, you could go through the process to become an RV park with the 5th one. I mean, that's up to y'all if you want to make that clear in here, but you automatically, according to environmental health, become an RV park at the 5th one.
Any comments?
We don't have a hearing on this, right?
The hearing.
Well, I think she's asking if you
We
would
want
need to be
to
clear if
change
you
it.
want that language added or not.
Okay. All right, do I hear a motion?
I'll offer a motion to add the recommended language.
Is there a second?
Second.
I second.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Donifro,
But-
a second by Commissioner Pate.
Is
Go
it
ahead,
needed?
Glenn.
Is it needed though, according to what Will Ann said? I mean,
No.
once-
Well, it doesn't hurt to have it. I'll tell you, the benefit of it is that when a planner who's new at community development is reviewing something, it's right there and it's easy to catch. Whereas a new planner may not know that a 5th unit, because for whatever reason they haven't encountered it. But at the same time, environmental health is going to also have some mechanism for catching that. So it doesn't harm it to be in there. It's probably
Okay.
more administratively helpful.
I want to see what they're putting in there. I want to see it in writing.
So it'll come back before you, what she just read out, exactly what will be added in if y'all vote to add it in. And that's up to y'all.
I think we don't want a bunch of unregulated RV parks all over the county. So
Any more comments?
no,
All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
yes,
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 4-1. I'm opposed.
Thank you.
All right,
who was opposed?
me.
Oh, okay.
All right, is there anything else, Ms. Williams?
Well, I'll adjust it roundtable.
Well, don't we have something here?
It's roundtable.
We're gonna do it round table. Jeff, do you have anything from the sheriff's department? Ms. Michelle? Ms. Willan?
I do. This is something that Clay asked for me to bring to you all, and this has to do with the Value Adjustment Board, the attorney retainer agreement. And it is at your places. And I'm sorry I did not forward it to Commissioner Peyton McKinney. But this is for, what is her name?
Martha Scutcheon. How do you pronounce it, Scutcheon?
Clint, you know her.
I don't never try to say her name.
Let's just call her Miss Martha.
Is this comparable
Ms.
to
Martha.
what's been done in the past?
Served at that rate for years.
Yeah.
Ever since I've been here, she's been the one.
I'll offer a motion to approve the retainer agreement with Martha S. Scutcheon.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Donifro.
Second.
There's a second by Commissioner Pate. Any questions? Okay, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. Ms. Martha's back again.
And the only other thing I had, if Rhett still had something, did you want to present? He had one thing that I thought y'all would prefer to go ahead and address rather than push it to the next meeting. I apologize, it's not formal.
Yeah, I do apologize. I got some clarification on this late Friday, so I was unable to meet the deadline for last Wednesday. But what I'd like to ask is for the board to approve Anderson Columbia as the low bidder for the Sweet Pond FEMA 4177 project. And I got a copy of the specs.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill.
Second.
Second by Commissioner McKinney. Any questions?
What's the funding source on this?
FEMA.
100%?
Yeah. All right. All those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0.
Out of curiosity, Mr. Chairman, does this finish out the paving on Sweet Pond Road?
No, sir.
Just the green road?
It'll get me to Green Road. Then we have to
50% of it once it's.
I
A
actually.
little over 50. I mean,
Yeah,
it's 2
the-
miles, 1.98 on this, and then the next section is closer to 1.5, a little over 1.5. So
Yeah, that,
The
that'll
base
take-
work's done on all of it, though, right?
pardon?
The base work done on all of it. full length?
No, I still have a little dirt and rock.
They've been working on this for almost a year, haven't they?
Sometimes people move slow. They are not moving at my speed, I can
well,
assure
and
you.
I'll explain why from my perspective. We wanted to wait till we had the paving bid in to know how much money we had, because we didn't want to keep spending time, money, and materials doing the rest of the road that wasn't in the FEMA scope and then be short on funding the actual paving project.
There was some confusion on the bidding and confusion, believe it or not, with FEMA.
Yeah,
But
we're gonna get it done. I'll bring
Hey,
you.
absolutely. We are going to get it done so Clint will stop complaining.
Yeah, let me ask the question while you're there, Rhett. Yeah, there you
Yes,
go.
sir.
What about my 3 jobs, FEMA jobs that went back out to bid?
Yeah, they close. They're out for bid. I don't know when they're due, honestly, but they're currently out getting input from contractors.
Can you let me know when it?
I can get you that closing date, and we've actually already advertised for the CEI services on those. So we won't be waiting on anything once the bids actually come in and get approved.
Because it's been a while. They should have already been through, I would thought.
No, the rebid, it might be getting close, but it hadn't quite been 30 days since the rebid. And on your other county jobs, the waiting on the bonding company for Missy Mossy to come through with the bond before they can get started. So both of yours are in the works.
Yeah. Not real happy with that. They should have been bonding.
Are they unbonded?
Well, they were waiting
They were
on their
just
bond,
getting-
but I mean, now I'm
getting-
waiting on,
They're bonded, but they got so
Oh.
many other jobs. They're
They're out of
in the
limited
works.
bond.
So they're waiting. They said they're supposed to have it last week, but I hadn't heard.
Waiting on additional bonding capacity.
Right.
Okay,
well, I mean, we could already been started with somebody else that was bonded. But anyway, okay, thank you.
Yep.
any more questions for Mr. Rep?
Yeah, I've got a couple. Just real quickly, you and I spoke yesterday about Carter's Mill, those roads. Were we able to set up a meeting with Anderson, Columbia?
I had a conflict on Wednesday morning for a separate pre-construction. So I talked to Kevin this morning. I was going to get with you after the meeting, see when we could set something up.
And then when we talk, let's talk about, is it Maywood or Mayberry, Maywood,
Maywood.
the ditch there?
Yep. So they were cutting riprap. They got the riprap ready Friday. It's picked up this morning. They're working on it right now.
Very good, very good. Thank you.
Okay,
All right. Thank you.
thanks, Rep. Luann, you have anything else?
I don't.
Mr. Donifro?
I've got one issue that was brought to my attention, and I did speak to Wendy, and I have not heard back from her as of yet, but there is out at the Oaks Plaza,
Mm-hmm.
the medical office building that's there, that was built some time back, they have opened up a COVID testing operation right there behind it. They've taken a small wood structure, and the traffic, I had several people call and complain about the traffic backup, actually backing up from that building all the way out past where the ice dispenser is, out into Highway 90 at
Wow.
times. And the issue that I got a complaint about was the man that owns the ice dispensary people can't get to it now. Contractors that usually go to that to get ice at that dispensary have not been able to get to that because of the backup of the traffic. My question to Wendy was, did that, whoever's operating that COVID testing business, did they get a development order and did they get a permit to use that wood structure as basically as a testing facility? Anyway, I haven't heard back from Wendy, but I'm sure she'll. let me know.
Commissioner, I'm here and I can share with you.
Okay,
There is no development order that was pulled for the building, and Jessica went out yesterday to take some photos and take a look, and we'll try to get in touch with the medical facility.
okay, very good. If a development order has not been pulled, then more than likely a building permit has not been pulled either. Is that probably true?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so in that particular case, will that business be asked to shut down immediately or?
In this particular case, we'll have to go out and chat with them. I think it was a portable building that they brought in. And then we'll have a chat with them about it.
Okay. Be apprised on that.
Yeah, I got one thing. We had set aside years ago, $27,500 for volunteer fire departments, and the last $7,500 was for grant match. Problem is now a lot of them are applying for grants, but they're saturated statewide. They're not able to, they're being turned down. I think Campbell's is the only one that got one. So I'd like to entertain a motion to make it to where if they apply for a grant during that budget year, that if they denied or time runs out, that they're still allowed to get that money. That's my motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Hill. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Pate. Any questions?
That shouldn't have any impact on the budget because
No, it's already there.
It's already budgeted. The hangup is they're applying for grants with forestry, but forestry is not necessarily processing.
They don't have
So
run out of money.
we're penalizing them by withholding the funds. All right, all those in favor, raise your right hand.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, motion carries 5-0. Clint, do you have anything?
I do not.
Mr. McKinney,
No, sir.
Clay? Okay. I have one thing. I want to talk about the situation with our shop out at Road and Bridge. We got $1 million building out there in a 50-cent operation. I see equipment go in and I see it deadlined and sit there forever. And this has been going on ever since I've been on the board. What I would like to do is ask the staff to gather some information. It may be a situation that we need to rethink the way that we are processing everything out there and how things are being handled. But we got to do better than what we're doing. What I would like to do, Ms. Willan, is ask, number one, I'd like to know the number of positions that we have out there, mechanic and otherwise. I would like to know the amount of money that was expended last year on outsourcing repairs and maintenance. I would like to know the amount of money that was spent on repairs and maintenance in-house. I would like to know the number of employees who have left Road and Bridge since Mr. Spears Anthony has taken over as the supervisor. I would like to know the number of employees who have left Road and Bridge for the same time frame. Not Road and Bridge, the shop, obviously. The same time frame, whether, I don't know how long he's been there, if it's 2 years, 3 years, whatever. Prior to him coming, I'd like to know those numbers. I want the board to be able to take a look at this information and hopefully we can come up with a better scenario to keep valuable equipment from being down. I don't have any way to haul a backhoe. I'm down.
How many do we currently have out there? 3 people? I mean,
Three.
as far as-
Three, a head mechanic, we have then a mechanic and then an oil changer currently. I do know,
You
right?
do have that many.
Have that
Rhett,
many.
how many do you have? Okay. All right.
So that's all 3 people. Now, the oil, you just said oil change.
That's the
He's
service tech.
service. Okay, so he does more than just change oil though, right? Right. General. He don't get his hands inside of an engine compartment.
So there's open 2, mechanic 2.
Rhett, why don't you come up here and
And Rhett, this is no reflection on you, okay? Because you've only been there a short period of time.
It's all right.
This is a problem that has been there ever since I've been on the board.
Sure. So currently at the shop, there's a head mechanic, an assistant head mechanic, and then there's a mechanic 2 whose primary function is to service oil changes, air filters, general maintenance. We do have 2 vacancies of a mechanic 3, which is usually going to be your diesel / heavy equipment tech, and then another mechanic 2, which would typically primarily work on vehicles and smaller equipment. So the 2 vacancies, like I said, I got some potentials. Actually, one of them applied for an operator 3, but when I was looking at his background of being a mechanic, we called and said, hey, what about being a mechanic? And he was open. So those are open till filled. So I just got to call and make contact and work out some of the details, and hopefully we can get those rolling.
So typically five.
Full staff in the mechanic portion, the repair shop is 5. Yeah.
But
So,
just to give a little perspective right this minute, tell them how many open work orders we have.
yeah. So as of yesterday morning, I hadn't talked to him today. We had about 61 total of fire rescue, all county departments, all go through the fleet maintenance shop. So 61, and some are in-house repairs, some are going to be sent out depending on what it is. There's warranty work that's going on there. I mean, there's just a whole bunch of different stuff.
Is your opinion similar to Commissioner Peacock's, that things could be run more effectively out there?
I think it's more of a staffing issue as much as anything, and just the amount of work that's expected. I mean, just Road and Bridge alone could probably keep the shop running, not even counting all the other vehicles. I mean, utilities has 2 trucks over there. I mean, my public works equipment also, goes, I mean, everything. So when
I
you're
think we
looking
need
at
to look
hundreds
at
of pieces of equipment and essentially 1 or 2 mechanics, I mean, the numbers just don't work
So
out.
how the priority list go? It goes obviously fire rescue ambulances aspects pretty much first. Obviously, they get a priority identification.
For us, yeah.
For us, for y'all,
Right.
correct. But then you got, I don't know how many CDL licensed drivers that is. I mean, if you have any error marks on your dashboard on the semis or the dump trucks, they
Yeah.
can't drive them.
Something, yeah, so something as simple as like your trailers,
Yeah.
if it has an ABS light and like brake system failure somewhere on the trailer, it may work fine. That light's on the dash, it's a problem, it can't be utilized. So that kind of stuff. And, with the ambulances, like right now, there's several down. I've been working with Charlie this week on it. I mean, you got waiting on parts, one of them at a dealership, another one is potentially going in for warranty work, and it's just a whole bunch of different kind of stuff. And I actually spent quite a bit of time with Anthony just yesterday, just kind of getting a better idea of how the shop functions, how they determine who does what and when. And he said with essentially having one true mechanic aside from the service tech, it's hard to dedicate one person to address an issue, knowing that when an ambulance runs in and needs something real quick, he's pulled off of that task to deal with that. Or like just last week, we had a hydraulic failure on a backhoe sitting in the middle of the road. So obviously, we got our hands off and go tend to that. So it's just with so much different things happen, it's really a manpower issue as much as anything.
Well, I know
Correct.
that some years ago, they added more work. They shuffled. So I think we need to look at the overall picture
Okay.
from our perspective.
So-
I mean, we don't.
So
do the
Rick,
first-
Commissioner
Go ahead.
McKinney here, Rick. Question on the equipment that we outsourcing. What's the turnaround on that? Is it pretty much stagnated too?
Well, and that's one of the things that I've been addressing. I spoke with Anthony about yesterday. Any private shop is charging the county the same thing they're charging John Doe for any other repair. So the fact of the matter of getting priority, because we are a large customer, places that we have, like dealerships, it's still no benefit to them to move us ahead other than just common courtesy. We got no real reason to force them to prioritize us. Ambulances are a little different, but even still, if it's at a shop getting worked on, just because ours isn't there doesn't mean another one's not coming. So, the shop's dealership, whatever, is not benefiting anymore just because it's got a county logo on it.
Well,
Okay. Thank you.
can we have that information for the next meeting?
Sure, I got my list right here.
That's all I have. Anything else? Is there anyone that,
One question.
go ahead, Mr. Dunford.
And just, I had someone ask me why at the jail, the microwave or a microwave was still being utilized in the area where we had that one issue. And I had told the person that asked me that microwave was no longer there.
I can't answer that without asking Jeter, but I know within the last month, they were in the process of installing the new system. So I would be surprised if there's still one there, but I will find
Can
out.
check.
Mhm.
Fred? Joey?
Yes, sir.
Does anyone have any questions from the public?
I see no hands raised at this time.
Anyone here have questions?